Hello, everybody. Welcome to another HAVOC update. I've separated the series from my solo RPG workshop videos because I make changes to HAVOC very often. I think this is the fifth update officially, so this will be number 5. First, there is a new image, which I did post on my YouTube account under postings or community, whatever it's called now. But basically, that is the new image. I'm going with the dark fantasy setting that's inspired by Elric. HAVOC is a rules-light solo RPG based in a dark fantasy setting. The player will act as the player character and the game master. So this is going to be more in line for solo play. That's why from prior I was mentioning having multiple players. But I want to reiterate, this game is made for me, not for everybody else. But my goal is to release this game on itch so that anybody can try it for free, of course. Okay, let's go over the new updated rules. There's been some changes as usual. Character creation, name and details. Give your character a name and some basic concept details. You can flesh them out as the adventure continues, if they survive long enough. The 5 cores. Your character has 5 main cores that define their inner abilities. Each represents a flexible aspect of their existence. Hardy is constitution, fortitude, and stamina. Agility is dexterity, speed, and evasion. Valor is charisma, leadership, and confidence. Optics is wisdom, awareness, and insight. Craft is intelligence, logic, and knowledge. Here is the biggest mechanic change, and that is how you use your cores. It's not a d20 system. It's not a roll out or below. It is dice. Each core starts with a d4, which is the die used when taking action against HAVOC. During character creation, you can only improve 2 cores, one with a d6 and another with a d8. If you already decide on a profession, allocate the dice appropriately. Think of which cores would fit best with the chosen profession. For example, if you want to be a rogue assassin, perhaps put a d6 in optics or d8, and then the other for agility. Straightforward. Next is the hitbox. It's a simple way to tally each hit your character takes throughout their travels. The amount can increase when taking hits or decrease after recovery. Once the tallied amount equals their HP, they die. Hit potential, HP. Your character's overall condition is represented by their hit potential. It is not health, but a means of how many total hits they can endure before death. Roll a d6 plus the hardy die to total them to set their total HP. Energy is a new concept. The amount of energy dictates how many spells your character can cast. Every possible spell draws a certain amount of energy, no matter the success of the roll. Drained energy can be restored after a long rest. Your starting energy is equal to the highest possible roll of your craft die, so D4 BD would be 4 energy points. Once their energy is drained, a long rest is required to restore it, just re-emphasizing. Defense. The defense is the amount of protective armor your character wears. Armor can have varying amounts of rate of protection. The total defense negates incoming hits before impacting their hit box. Inventory. This also has been updated. Everything practically has been updated. Your character can carry up to 10 normal size items. Much larger items may occupy 2 spaces. They also have a pouch for smaller items like trinkets and personal memorabilia. The pouch cannot hold normal or large items. They start with a basic 1d6 weapon, basic plus 1 armor, 3 rations, torch, rope, and a 3d6 of gold. Consider their profession when choosing what type of weapon or armor. Again, kind of like what the picture shows, a rogue assassin, You can start with a dagger. You can have a rogue cloak, light leather armor. It's up to you. Okay, now let's move on to mechanics. That is the character creation process. Really dead simple, pun intended. Havoc. When your character attempts a risky action, you then roll for Havoc. The roll of the relevant core will go up against a Havoc die of certain difficulty, which depends on the risk factor of the actions taken. Determine which core will be utilized. Based on the task at hand, choose a difficulty. D4 for easy, D6 for normal, D8 for hard. Roll your core and Havoc die against each other. Match or exceed to succeed. Less is a failure. If your character has advantage, then roll 2d core and choose the higher roll. If your character has disadvantage, then roll 2d core and choose the lower roll. Conflict. There may be moments when a character will encounter an adversary. To simplify the process, conflict is taken in turns and handled narratively per turn. Each participant's actions is explained and rolled for. Your character typically acts first, unless they are ambushed. All attacks hit, there are no misses. Roll the weapon die to deal hits to the enemy. Defense. Oh, actually, I should change that. There we go. Defense negates incoming hits. If there are multiple enemies, you may be only able to choose which enemy to hit. You may be able to choose which enemy to hit. Melee weapons can hit within several feet. Ranged weapons can hit at a greater distance. Certain spells may cause damage if craft is rolled successfully. Here's a little table for the enemy levels. So you have minion, soldier, captain, leader, legendary, with HP, defense, and weapon per. If multiple enemies attack, roll all the weapon dice and choose the highest roll. This is how many hits you take minus your defense. Okay, so in my opinion, I feel like the spell casting system has greatly evolved since I've reintroduced it, or I should say, since I've uh, evolved it with energy. Not just grab and go, but you actually have to have some energy and a successful craft roll. Spells are almost always bound to an enchanted scrolls or books. Anyone can summon a spell, but doing so requires a successful craft roll against the spell die and sufficient amount of energy. Spells have a set level and associated die. To cast, roll both your craft and spells die. Rolling at or above means the spell is cast, below is a misfire. Spells cannot be cast without the required energy cost. Here's a little table. You have D4 common, D6 experience, D8 rare, D10 otherworldly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Similar to the math for HP and defense. As you notice, it's half. Same with here. Recovering energy. Depending on the energy cost of the spell, it will drain that amount of energy from your character. After a long rest, your energy is restored equal to the highest possible roll on your craft. D4 equals 4 energy points. If your character has 0 energy, all future craft rolls are at a disadvantage until the energy is restored. Healing. Despite the delicacy of your character, they are capable of healing. After a brutal conflict, if they survive, they may reduce 1d4 amount of hits. They may also take a short rest in a safe area to reduce all their taken hits. Some resourceful items may also reduce a certain amount of hits. And then to close, we have advancement. After your character achieves a absolute monumental task, a perilous quest, or defeating a boss, then they may advance +1 level and be granted one of the following improvements. +1 up die to any core. Max of any core is a d12, d20 for demigods. 1d6 to HP, or 1d craft roll to energy max. Does not recover current energy. I caught a small mistake. I basically put here plus one up die to any core. Max of any core is D12, D20 for demigods. I put here, took away the craft. Improving craft also improves energy amount. So at this point, it's probably fine to just say they are granted both of these curves. And there you go. You can one up any of your craft or havoc die, along with craft if you choose so, and then 1d6 to HP. There we go. That's basically my whole game, which is currently on a web document. Now let's go to the updated character sheet. This is it. So this section is new, pouch. The concept has been reduced. Hit is now called hitbox. Energy is here. Defense is still here. The new picture. And then this obviously has had some redesign, but you have Hardy, Agility, Valor, Optics, Craft. There's your currency, level, and your name with the 10 items here. There you go, with numbers. So I also have, this area has changed at times. There was a dice column here, but now it's just the value. And that is Havoc. I will playtest this in the future. That will allow me to fix it, add some changes, upgrade it, take things back, etc. Playtesting is always the best part because Havoc has gone from a genre neutral setting, system neutral, to now a dark fantasy setting because, again, I've been on this Elric rabbit hole with dark fantasy games and Call of Cthulhu. I want to have just this be focused on dark fantasy because it's gripping, it's dark, it's gritty, and it's good for dungeon crawls, good for mysteries, horror, stuff like that. So that's where my mind is right now, and that's how my game will reflect my current taste in RPGs. It's mainly been Chaosium games, called Cthulhu, called Cthulhu, and Elric. So hope you guys enjoyed. My dice system, Havoc system, is I want to say it's a mixture of two different worlds. We have inspiration from Savage Worlds, with the dice being the actual ability, the core in my case, and up against a competitive die, which is half of what Ironsworn is, where it's two dice with a success and partial success failure system. Mine is half of that, one against each other. So Havoc, that's why I call it Havoc, because it's crazy, it's random. You can be really good at something, but it can also fail miserably, vice versa. You can be very bad at something, but you can also succeed in a difficult task based on just pure luck. That's why I'm calling it Havoc. But that's really it. So I will playtest this perhaps before the next update if necessary. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you enjoy how Havoc's turning out. I like how it's going. And to be deadly honest with you, these pictures that I have been spitting out with GPT are phenomenal. I love them. They're black and white based on the instructions I gave it. Old school looking. I think they're coming out great. Again, it takes me no effort. I want to reiterate. I use GPT for a lot of things, and obviously image generation because I have no talent whatsoever with drawing or art. I rely on it for these little visual aids of inspiration. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.